Russia seeks sanctions, relief, resource deal with US via negotiated Dmitriev, Zelensky says that. He Hagseth to join Ramstein, thank God, but online only. Good afternoon, my name is Henry Keane, and we are UATV English, in English-speaking Ukrainian state media in constant persuasion to deliver our truth in easy terms for the whole free world, directly from Ukraine. Moscow runs in dollars. The rest of Russia in rubles. I mean, Moscow is not Russia, make no mistake. If you've ever been to Moscow, you'd agree. It's westernized, comfortable, with all these simple things, all luxury, whatever you want. German cars, Italian clothes, French wine, opera, theaters, ballet, same as you would expect to find, I don't know, in London, Berlin, New York, maybe even better places. But there is one crucial difference that sets Moscow apart from other big capitals of the world. It's running on Western currency. European euro and mainly American dollars, really. Not openly, of course. I mean, you spend rubles there, but make no mistakes. Dollars are beneath it at the very core. All high technology and all the new things and ideas, and the very idea of comfortable living itself is as Western in Russia today as it always has been for centuries. It was France centuries back then, with its culture and engineering and fashion that Russians elite was doing its best to align with. Today, it's the collective West in general and American dollar in particular. Oh, it's everywhere, in real estate, in cars, in business, in construction, in corruption. Yes, the equivalent of real stable currency in Russia is American dollar, not Russian ruble. This is exactly why Russian oligarchs offered $1 million to any Russian pilot who downs a French Mirage fighter jet in Ukraine. See, they naturally think dollars. Russians are looking westwards involuntarily. So dollars are very important, especially as the Russian budget consists of 30% of American dollars, because dictator Vladimir Putin sells oil and gas to the West, right, and put dollars and euros into his war chest, not rubles. And because it's always dollars, sanctions, even though as weak and amazingly leaky as they appear to be today, is a problem for Moscow. Today, Moscow is using its negotiator, Kirill Dmitriev, to lead discussions with the US on resource development and partial unblocking maybe of frozen Russian assets. Dmitriev, who heads the state-controlled Russian Direct Investment Fund, whatever that means, met with US officials in Washington on behalf of Russian dictator Vladimir Putin just last week. Ahead of the trip, the Russian officials said that Washington and Moscow have begun discussions on projects related to Russian rare earth minerals.
It looks like it all leads to the unblocking of economic relations. Russia wants the lifting of sanctions against specific people who will be behind this or that direction. For example, Russian minerals, which they will offer to the US. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine.
Dmitriev is communicating Moscow's proposals to Washington using his Middle Eastern connections. The Russian envoy previously played a role in back-channeling diplomacy between Moscow and Trump, when the latter was first elected in 2016. The Ukrainian president's sanctions commissioner, Vladislav Vlasyuk, said in late February that Russia is most interested in removing sanctions against Russian oligarchs and energy experts. Well, obviously, because Russian oligarchs are Russia running on American dollars. The rest is considered by the Kremlin as expendable cannon fodder running on rubles. Western nations froze some $300 billion in Russian assets after Moscow launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, with roughly two-thirds held in Europe. Russia cannot fully unfreeze all its assets in the EU, but it could manage to release smaller sums, between $2 and $5 billion, through intermediaries amongst Middle Eastern leaders. President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, confirmed that Moscow is pressuring foreign governments to help release the funds by offering deals involving high-tech goods, such as aircraft construction parts, for example. Well, here is a hard truth in easy terms, for you all call it dark irony, if you will. Russia and its oligarchs are freely spending American dollars to construct war machines and cluster munitions that kill Ukrainian children in our cities, like it happened in Kryvyi Rih. With that, every Russian missile has Western parts in it. But when Ukraine is asking for those American dollars in European banks that belong to child murderers, Russian oligarchs, the collective West says, well, it's not exactly according to the law. Well, sorry to break it to you like that, but that is the world we're living in. United States Defense Secretary Pete Hagseth will join the upcoming Ramstein format meeting through a video conference, despite earlier rumors he might skip the summit entirely. Defense News reports on that on April 8th, citing US and European official sources. The April 11th meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, UDCG, will take place in Brussels under the chairmanship of the United Kingdom and Germany. Pete Hagseth's predecessor, former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, launched the UDCG after the outbreak of Russia's full-scale war in 2022 to coordinate assistance among some 50 of Kiev allies, jointly providing $126 billion in military aid for Ukraine. European officials said that Hagseth joining online is a better option than his complete absence, but they would still prefer him arriving in person, Defense News wrote. The news outlet initially reports that, according to official sources, the Pentagon's chief would not attend the summit in person or online at all. Austin has traditionally chaired the UDCG's meeting, as the US has been the leading military donor to Ukraine, providing some $67 billion in arms and equipment since 2022. US President Donald Trump's accession to office in January brought a major shift, obviously. In the United States foreign policy, the new administration has yet to prove any new aid package for Kiev and signaled reduced commitment to Europe's and Ukraine's security. The 26th Ramstein format meeting in February 12th, the first summit since Trump took office, was also the first UDCG meeting not chaired by the US Defense Secretary, as Hagseth passed the role to his British counterpart, John Healey. Hagseth nevertheless attended the February 12th meeting in person while not committing any new assistance and calling Ukraine's hope to join NATO and liberate all of its territories unrealistic in his address to the allies. Well, I have only one question in this regard. 3 years ago, someone without any actual expertise in the sky-high profile political management of the United States of America, otherwise that of sexual misconduct, financial mismanagement, alcohol issues, and Fox News shows, I wonder how realistic Pete Hagseth would call back then an idea of him becoming a defense secretary today. I guess all might look unrealistic until one day it just happens, right? In March, President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a law regulating the lobbying market in Ukraine for the first time, defining the practice and setting formal procedures for lobbying activities. A sharp decline in Ukraine's lobbying expenditures followed, which dropped sixfold compared to 2023. Well, the move is part of broader transparency reforms tied to Ukraine's European integration efforts. Well, despite the cuts, Ukrainian officials and advocacy groups have remained active in engaging US lawmakers, think tanks, and the media to secure ongoing aid. And not only them, people who care about core human values like freedom and sovereignty of state are also involved. American scout sniper has been fighting in Ukraine on the very front lines for more than 2 years in a row. My personal friend, I hope, Matthew Simpson is with us. Hello, Matt. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Right. I mean, is that a Capitol building behind you?
Yes, sir. So I am physically in one of the houses of the representatives, and behind me is the House of Congress, the Capitol building itself.
All right. Well, yeah, that's America, right? So what are you doing there? Why?
I'm here with the Ukraine Action Summit and the American Coalition for Ukraine to advocate for Ukraine. We have over 600 people here in total, representing all 50 states and the territory of Puerto Rico. This is unprecedented for us.
Right. And how things are going?
So far, things are going very well. I'm specifically representing the state of Arizona, and things are fantastic. I just had a meeting with Senator Mark Kelly,
Right.
who was just recently in Ukraine, and he is extremely passionate for what's going on. What's interesting about it is I'm a registered Republican, and he is a registered Democrat, and we are
Exactly.
both very passionate about what's going on in Ukraine, both military veterans.
Well, I mean, you just asked my question. I mean, Democrat and Republican. I mean, this is the embodiment of how great your country is. I mean, pardon me for going that high tone, but I really admire that. So you're going to meet Senator Kelly, or you already met him?
I already met him, got pictures, and I will share those photos with you as well, so that way you have them. But it was a good meeting with him and his office. He was very excited to hear that I was also just in Ukraine less than a week ago.
Yeah, we did an interview and it's coming out very soon. You know, I mean, the another Russian missile obliterated our office, another office, second time in a row. I thought, I consider that a badge of honor anyway. I told you that already. So,
Yes.
I mean, thank you so very much. I mean, Matthew, this is one of the main idea for what you do in Ukraine, what you did in Ukraine, what are you doing right now in America. What were you talking with Senator Kelly about? Is that a secret or not? Can you talk us through about the thing a little bit?
A few issues, and we're on the same page with some of the representatives here very much already. And one of them is the confirmed cases of over 19,000 children abducted by the Russian Federation, and how they need to be returned back to the Ukrainian people. And knowing that even the confirmed number of the 19,000 is probably not, it's very low for the accurate number of the amount of children that are actually taken, and also the very specific and targeted execution and persecution of Christians in Ukraine for Russian occupied areas. Those were one of the big points that we're talking to all these representatives here in Congress about.
Right. Well, I have a whole bunch of questions. I know you're tight on your schedule, but last question. What are the plans? What are you going to do next? Are you going, back to Arizona or going back to Ukraine? Maybe, just roughly, if I may.
I fly back to Arizona tomorrow, and I'm looking to get more established there, more involved with the community, and hopefully take a few days to just relax from all the traveling I've been doing
Right,
from Arizona to the front lines to Kyiv to Washington, D.C., and all the way back to Arizona.
My friend, have your time. Thank you so very much again for what you did and for what you're doing. I'm here for you, anything. So thank you so very much, and thank you for your service.
I really appreciate that. Thank you again for taking this time with me, and just know that the American people are here with you. The American people are here with Ukraine, fighting in every possible manner to fight this fight with you.
Amen to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
We talk. Have a good one. Bye. Cut. Great, man. Thank you so very much. I mean, great. I mean, you've achieved the point. All good. Yeah, so good. Yeah, Arizona. You know, we have American University Kyiv has actually the Arizona University, and the director of that university, Daniel Rice. I know him personally. Oh, yeah. So, do you know if Senator Kelly is going to visit anytime soon Ukraine? Maybe he told you about the plans, but I'm just speculating.
I don't know. Right. However, the office seems very excited to do an interview with you. And I did pose that if that interview goes well, that I would like to look at the idea of Senator Kelly and myself both do an interview with you at the same time.
I mean, this is that could be the perfect.
We'll see how that goes.
This could be the perfect one. Let me discuss one where you need to do a special setting for that, because I mean, Republican, Democrat, and someone in Ukraine, we can do that thing. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. I concur. Okay, great. Yeah, just let me know. I'm going to text you, and we're going to, the follow up.
Okay. When do you think this will publish?
If not tonight, then this week definitely. I'll let you know, and the interview just as well.
Okay. Okay. Please, I want obviously my name in here, but please throw in Senator Mark Kelly's name in whatever description, whatever that
Absolutely.
I just came in from
You
his
can-
office or whatever. And
you
then
can count
I'll send you the photos.
Sure, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. We talk.
Well, that's it for tonight. My name is Henry Keane, and we are UATV English, an English-speaking Ukrainian state media, in a constant persuasion to deliver hard truth in easy terms, no matter what, for the whole free world, directly from Ukraine. Please, in return, we ask just a little bit like, share, and comment. Your voice matters, as it helps Ukrainian voice to be heard globally. So stay safe and tune for more. Goodbye. Talk to you soon.